Hi friends, it's Missy here from TheJollyFatElf. Thank you so much for joining me. So we are back today with another card set for my 2023 holiday card series. So on Monday we made some cards only using a paper pad, and I shared some tips and tricks in that video on how you can make really fun festive cards with just one paper pad, a trimmer, and some glue. And in today's video, I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to do it in real time because someone left a comment and was like, it's too fast, and I cut off camera. So unfortunately, I can't cut on camera. I mean, I guess I can try, but I only have so much room on my desk, and even zooming out, you're not going to be able to see. But we're going to be using a collection, and I wanted to share with you what the 12 by 12 journaling cards may look like. So this is Tula and Norbert's Christmas Party. I think this came out last year. There's no date on this, but it's really fun and festive. And you can see by the size of the patterns, because some of these, that the 12 by 12 is much bigger. So what I did was, because I just love this pattern so much, like look, here's the Merry. We've got these. We've got Happy Holidays. You've got some scenes, some pictures, etc. I loved these, and I thought they would make perfect cards. So, but if you don't want to invest in a 12 by 12 sheet of paper, again, a lot of times these 6 by 6 paper pads will also have journaling cards in them. And honestly, you could cut right down the middle here, put that on the card, and it would be the perfect focal point. So since we did that on Monday, I thought in today's video we would do these bigger ones. So I have pulled out, so we had some, let me do we're going to be using some of this, some of these extra papers. So one of the sheets had the 3 by 4, these are 3 by 4 journaling cards. One of the sheets had 4 by 6, and that's these kind of bigger journaling cards. And then one of the sheets had these little tiny ones that were more of like little scenes that you can put on a card, kind of like the ones in the Doodlebug that I shared with you guys a couple of weeks ago. So we have all of these, and I thought I would walk you through how to make a card. Now, I picked this one because number one, I had the 12 by 12 to share with you, but also because Monday was very traditional in red and green, and I wanted something a little bit more bright and vibrant. So what we'll do is we will use some journaling cards from the actual paper pad, and then I'll share with you a couple of these bigger ones and how you can cut those down to fit a standard size card. So let's do this, Let's Get Ugly. And it's actually the same, I've already cut it out here, but I'm going to share with you how to cut this out. And again, how you can use the whole entire thing on a card. Is there another one that we want to use? Oh, let's do this one. So one thing that's great about a paper pad and using all of the paper pad is that it already is color coordinated. So it's going to be all the colors that are already in the paper, and you can just add them together. So we have Holly Jolly, Holly Holly Jolly Jolly. We got this cute little house. That's cute. What else we got? Oh, that's cute too. Ho ho ho. We wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I like that. Okay, so let's do. We'll use the sheet of paper for the small ones, and then I'm going to use a couple of big ones so I can share with you how to size them on a card. So let's use these cute little snowmen. Let's use this Merry, and yeah, we'll go from there. So my first tip for mass producing is to do each step all the way. So like we're gonna make card bases. So we're gonna make all of our card bases first. Then we're gonna cut our layers, and we're gonna cut all of the layers before we move on to the next step. Kind of think of it as kind of like your own kind of little Christmas assembly line. All right, okay, so we're gonna use these two and these two. Any of these other ones that we wanna pull out, we'll keep going and we'll see. But I'm gonna move all of this over to the side to get it out of our way. And I'm not gonna be using any die cuts today. I'm not doing any die cutting, we're just gonna be cutting paper. I'm gonna share with you a couple of other photo plate collections that I've used that have similar things. So here's one from a few years ago. It's got cute little penguins, Mary, Mary, Mary. And then this is Photo Play Not a Creature. So the Photo Play, the Echo Park, Simple Stories, those are the main ones that I know for sure do these kind of journaling cards in their collections. So we're gonna move these off to the side. Now, let's pull in some paper. I think we're gonna have to do pink because pink. So I'm gonna pick a pink. Let's do this one. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, let's do a pink. And let's do a green. We got pink. And we have green. I have too much stuff in the white. Okay, so I'm going to do, let's see, these are all portrait. And these are, we need another kind of landscape one, so let's pull in a different one. Let's do that one. That one's cute. Or we could do the Merry Christmas. Let's do that one. Okay. So we'll do this cute little snowman. We'll do that one. All right, so I want these to be portrait, meaning they're going to be up and down, and I think we'll use the green for these. So I have a piece of letter size paper. This measures 8.5 by 11. So the first thing I'm going to do if I'm going to make a portrait style card is I'm going to score this, and I'm going to score this at 5.5 because this is where we're going to fold it. Fold folder. So you can use a scoreboard if you have one. I do not. I probably should get one, but I don't have one as of yet. So I'm going to score first because I want both of these cards to be 4.25 by 11. So we're going to score this at 5.5. And I just run my bone folder into the trimmer. And then we're going to cut this at 4.25. That way we have two card bases that are already scored and ready to go. So for a landscape card, we're going to score this at 4.25 because that's where we're going to fold it. So 4.25. And then I'm going to run this through. And then 5.5 because we have landscape size cards. All right, I'm going to set that to the side. Did I score that? Okay, for our paper, let's see, what do I want to do? Holly Jolly, or do we want to do let's do this one and then we'll cut these down. Okay, so I'm gonna cut off the top, this kind of green turquoise strip because it is got a hole in it. And then I am gonna cut this on the line because we're gonna cut those apart. You should be able to put it at 3-ish. We're gonna cut it apart just like this. Now, you can choose to leave the bottom on if you want, or you can make a different layer. Let's cut the bottom off of this one and we will do a different layer on the other one. So I'm gonna cut this at 4, I think we'll probably take that off. And this is my favorite trimmer because it has a wire guide and I can see exactly where I'm cutting. So we're gonna cut this down. This should measure 3 by 4-ish. Yeah, it's just a little bit bigger than 4. And then we're gonna leave this on. We're gonna leave this strip on. And we're gonna go ahead and cut this at 5. Yeah, let's cut that, just that bottom part off. Okay, so we have this. We're gonna put this aside because we can always save it for later. For these, we need them to be at least 5.5 by 4.25. So right now they are right at 4. So we're gonna cut this down to 5.25, and right now it's right at 6. So I'm gonna try to remove 1/2 of an inch. So I'm gonna do 1/4 inch from either side. So I'm gonna go to my first line, which is 1/4 inch. We're gonna lose a little bit of this one. And then we're gonna go to 5.25, or 5.5, excuse me. And we're gonna use, actually we could move it a little bit further. Let's go ahead and do 5.25, see where that gets us. I don't wanna lose too much. Oh, there we go, that's perfect. So this now measures 4 by 5.25. That looks like it may be a little, a little crooked, not me cutting something crooked. There we go. And we're gonna do the same one for this one. This should be at 4 inches. It is, so we're gonna try to remove, let's see if we can get it down to 5.25. This one's gonna be 5 3/8. So we have Happy Holidays. We have We Wish You Merry Christmas. And then we have Holly Jolly. So we have these 3. Move my trimmer out of the way. So we know that this measures 3 by 5.25, I believe. Now I forgot. Now I forgot. This is a T-square ruler. You can pick them up pretty much anywhere. Is this 5 1/8 or 5? It's about 5 1/8. So we've got 3 by 5 1/8. Yep, so let's get a scrap piece of paper. We're gonna write down these measurements. So for Holly Jolly, we have 3 by 5 1/8. Holly Jolly is 3 by 4. Happy Holidays is 4 by 5 3/8. And then Snowman is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so now let's pick out some paper. So this is going on, this is going to go on the pink paper. So we definitely don't want it to be on a pink border. So do we want to just do it on cardstock? It might be the best idea to just do it on cardstock. That way we don't waste a sheet of pattern paper, because honestly, you're not going to be able to see it anyway. Okay, so let's bring in just a piece of cardstock for these 2. Since they're going to go on pink, let's bring in like this turquoise. So we're gonna want it 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this at 4 1/8. Now this is already one that I have already cut up, and you guys know I'm trying to use up the scraps. So we're gonna cut it at 4 1/8, and then I'm gonna cut it at 5 3/8. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want 1/8 of an inch border around my pieces of paper that are 4 by 5 1/4. And the one that is 5 1/8 will still work with 5 3/8. So we are going to have them, and they're going to go on just like this, and they're going to have just the 1/8 of an inch border, just like that. So we'll do those two first. And then let's see, we have 3 by 4 for this one. So this is going on green. How about we do, let's bring in this turquoise as well, but let's bring this in with a piece of paper. What other patterns do we have? They all go together. So the back of that is red, pink, I think we want to do this red plaid with this one. I think that'll work out really, really nice. All right, do we want to do candy canes? Candy canes might be fun. We could also do this, the sweaters, the pink candy cane. I'm telling you, this is the hardest part for me, is picking picking out my paper. Okay, so I do kind of like the look of these together like that. And then we'll bring in this. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this down to 5 3/8. Let's get this out of the way. There's something on the end of this, so let's get that cut off. 5 3/8. And then I'm gonna cut this down to 1 1/4. By 5 3/8. And so we have this and this, this and this, and the other pattern. Where did it go? This. Okay, so that's the other card. And then last but not least, we have the We Wish You a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Do, 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 do. I feel like we need green. All right, let's bring in some of red. Okay, so that's 3 by 5 1/8. So let's do 3 1/8 by 5. 3 1/8 by 5 1/4. 3 1/8 by 5 1/4 will still give us a 1/4 inch border. I mean, an 1/8 inch border. Hopefully. Math. Sometimes math. It's a little long, but we'll get this adhered and then get that down. And then we're going to do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. By 5 3/8. And then we're going to do 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Let's do 3 3/4. 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, so let us begin adhering. Gonna move all of this stuff over. Let's adhere our layers first, and then we will adhere the layers to the card bases. So we're gonna start with this one. I am gonna end up trimming just a tiny bit of this off. Even sometimes my measurements are not exact. Sometimes I can't math. All the things that happen. But I do want there to be a small border. I'm gonna try to get this as straight as possible. And then we're just gonna cut off the tiniest bit on the bottom. And again, I'm just gonna line that up. That's about right. So we got that. And I think I wanna cut off about 1/8 of an inch of this one too. Just a little bit, because I want a little bit of a border on the bottom. So let's see, we're gonna get this centered like that. We're gonna get this as well. Okay. And you could really use either side. That's a fun pattern. That's a really fun pattern. Okay, so this is going to have just a small border on all 4 sides. Of course, it's crooked with this one. You just want to be careful lifting this up so you don't tear all of the paper. I mean, I do suggest glue, liquid glue, but sometimes I can't be bothered. And when I can't be bothered, things like this happen. So I shoot my own self in the foot half of the time. These are things that I normally edit out of my videos. Sometimes I'll leave them. Is that even any better? No, it's not. Okay. All right, let's try again. That one's not gonna allow itself to be cut again. It's just not going to. Should we do green? Let's abort that mission. Let's try again. How about we use the back? Let's use the holly. Have a holly jolly Christmas. We're still gonna do 4 1/8. 5 3/8. Then let's extra kind of torn edges of this, and then I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/8. We're going to put this across the card as a band. You guys have seen me do that sometimes. It's an easy sketch to do. It's minimal cutting. You can, these are some that you can mass produce over and over and over again. And again, you don't need a whole lot of tools. You just kind of need your trimmer and some adhesive, and you're good to go. I'm going to use this H to line this up. Okay, so there's our first card layer. Okay, yeah, I like that much better. Okay, cool. All right, so this is 5 3/8, 5 3/8. Let's put this down to 5 3/8. I'm going to use foam. Of course, you don't have to. If you don't have it, you can just use some dimensional adhesive, some pop dots, something of the sort. You guys know I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission, a mission, a mission. I'm on a mission, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission, a mission, a mission. I'm gonna wait until after I get this adhered to the card base before I go ahead and adhere this part, just because it's going to be popped up and it'll be easier to adhere. Stop. So I am just folding on my score line. I'll go ahead and get this one adhered. Check my measurements. Jeez. There's one. Let's go ahead and bring in our greens. The last thing I'm going to do for that pink one is to add an inside card layer that measures 4 by 5 1/4. When I use dark cardstock, I like to add in a light layer. Now, I'm not one to decorate the inside of my cards very often, but you absolutely can. You can decorate your envelopes. If that's something you guys would like to see, just let me know. But normally I'm not one to do that because the inside isn't on display. You know what I mean? Like, no one's really going to see the inside except for the recipient. And I would much rather have room to write than anything else. Okay. So this was double-sided adhesive foam. So I just have to peel off the back. And this is from my Queen & Co kits. If you were wondering, if you haven't watched any of my other kind of using leftover videos. And then last but not least, let's get this one adhered. If you could see this desk, you would see that it's a mess. Alright, so here are the 3 that we have out of the 4 that we started with. Okay, that's it. That's a lot of talkie-talkie. This video is probably 900 years long. I apologize, but I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if this was helpful or if it wasn't, or if it was even more confusing. That was not an intention. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, friends. I really do appreciate you. If you haven't already, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Oh, let me put my inside card layer in. I hope you'll consider subscribing. If you haven't already, follow me over on Instagram. I'm at TheJollyFatElf. If you would like some card kits that are already pre-cut and measured and all you have to do is put them together, be sure to check them out. They are listed down below. The only thing you need is adhesive, and those will ship out in just a couple of days of when you order them. I just need time to get them all cut and ready to go. You can also pick up some of my handmade cards over on Etsy. What in tarnations is wrong with me today? I cannot today. I cannot. So good. All right. That's it. You can add some shimmer if you wanted to, you know, zhuzh it up with some pop dots, etc. So yeah. All right, friends. I'll see you Friday for another video. Okay, bye for now.